So it wasn't about literally partaking of a fruit. Like, that may have been the commandment. It may have been that simple, but it wasn't about that. All right, it was a spiritual law, not a temporal one. And then we just go down the whole scenario of Adam and Eve being tempted by the devil, and that there is a devil, there is a spirit of devil, that there is a place prepared even before Adam for these devil and these angels, which is interesting because we were just talking about that, and then he brings it back up again. So clearly connecting the devil and the angels to those people that did not, he was ashamed to own before the Father, right? There's clear connection and continuation of that thought, as strange as it was, and maybe off kilter from, our simplistic view of talking about resurrection, but there's definitely a continuation of thought here and of theme that's happening, and a real stream of consciousness going on in this revelation. But he's going in and explaining, like, hey, this whole process of man, Adam, receiving spiritual commandments, being tested and tempted, by these forces that are unseen, right? However, still controlled and part of the plan. This is all related to everything we just talked about. Everything we've talked about at this point, right? We've reached the point of the reset of the new heaven, new earth, and it's almost as if he's saying at this point, hey, there's a new Adam. We're back to the first day of the creation, and here's what's going to happen. Surprise, it's the same thing that has already happened. Eternal round.
I found it interesting because there's several creation narratives throughout this different scriptures, all the different canon that we have, but this one even had nuance and had some differences, some slight variations that, man, each time you read one of these, you just kind of pick up on and recognize something slightly different, and you got to keep it in context based on who's delivering the creation narrative and the circumstances they were around and what's attempting to be conveyed, but I love how even something like that, the creation narrative and that illustration that gets used over and over and over again, man, every time you read a version of it in the scriptures, there's something new to pick up on. There's something new to learn and to kind of expand your understanding and knowledge. And honestly, the amazing thing is that kind of should be happening each time you go to the temple. You go to an endowment session and you try to focus on every word and really think about what is trying to be implied and what's being conveyed. And if you go there with the Spirit, man, you're going to hear things that you're like, how have I never noticed that in 100 times of being here? All of a sudden you'll pick up on something, and it just conveys a different sense of truth and understanding and eternities that it just consistently helps you grow and progress. Hit that like button, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.
They may seem like little things, but liking, commenting, it helps the algorithm push our content out to more people. So it's our small way of sharing the gospel in a social media age.